Joining me in our Washington studio is Barbara Salvin. She's director of the Future of Iran Initiative at the Atlantic Council, a Washington, D.C.-based think tank. Barbara, welcome to our program.
Pleasure to be with you.
Jim mentioned some of the effects of these sanctions on the Iranian people. I just want to get your take on it. I mean, Secretary Pompeo keeps saying America is with the Iranian people, and yet this seems to affect them the most.
Yes, of course it does. You know, look, this is an administration that put a ban on Iranians traveling to the United States as one of its very first acts in office. So any claims that it's supporting the Iranian people or Iranian voices, I think, ring hollow. The sanctions now, of course, they will impact ordinary people much more than the government. The government still has access to hard currency. It's going to use a variety of techniques to get around these sanctions. We're having an event on that at the Atlantic Council on Wednesday. So the people who will really suffer will be ordinary Iranians paying higher prices, having trouble finding medicine that they need coming from Europe. One of the things I've focused on is that the Trump administration has yet to identify a way for legitimate trade, non-sanctioned trade, such as in humanitarian goods, how that is going to continue when almost every Iranian bank now is sanctioned by our Treasury Department.
But if you talk to the administration, they're saying the sanctions are not going to impact humanitarian supplies like medicine.
That's ridiculous. It happened in 2012. It's happening again. And, you know, I'm trying to figure out what is the goal. You heard Secretary Pompeo. He wants a 180-degree turn in Iranian policies. How realistic is that? These are open-ended sanctions with no feasible, realistic goal, and the only people who are really going to be hurt, apart from Iranians, will be consumers worldwide who will pay more for gasoline.
The Europeans were trying to come up with some kind of transaction system so they will not be punished for continuing to do business with Iran. I actually got to interview Iran's foreign minister on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, and I just got his take what Iran is looking for once these sanctions take effect. Let's listen, and I want to get your reaction.
Sure.
The real test is in seeing whether private enterprises, government companies, oil companies can in fact continue to buy oil from us, to invest in Iran, to engage with Iran without fear of this US illegal sanctions. And that is still something that we are waiting to see in action.
Barbara, how important is the fact that Iran wants to be able to sell its oil to companies like China, like India, and, you know, the Europeans? The EU is probably, I don't think EU is exempt in this 8 economies that the United States announced that are exempt.
Yeah, but actually it's 9, because apparently Iraq is also getting a waiver. So it's not 8 countries, it's 9 countries. There's been a clarification, but Greece and Italy will be able to continue.
Well, aren't they part of the European Union, though?
They are. They are also countries that have historically had pretty close trading ties with Iran. And of course, there's an oil company, Eni, an Italian company that I think has been in Iran forever. It's never left, not even during previous periods of sanctions. And Greece also has strong trade ties. So these waivers are important. But you know, the question is, will they be extended? Again, what is the end game here?
That's what I was going to ask you.
How long is this supposed to go on? You know, I think Iran is...
Is regime change part of the equation here, Barbara?
Yeah, but that's not realistic either. I think that what Iranians are going to be looking at are our elections. They're going to try to gauge whether President Trump will be a one-term president, and they're going to just try to survive. Europe remains a question mark, apart from Greece and Italy still buying some oil. I don't know how much other trade will go on. Europe is trying to create this special purpose vehicle for some trade to continue. I think for now it's important that the effort is being made, and Iran will try to weather these sanctions, at least for a while.
Once again. All right, Barbara Salvin, thank you so much.
You're welcome.